It's 5:30 a.m. We are off on another adventure out of Kathmandu today. We're off on a bus to an airport, to a trek. Just packing up our bags, got some snacks for the bus.
Bags in storage, breakfast is ordered.
Me and Tom are feeling very tired because we only had about 4 hours sleep last night. I'm actually really relieved that we've got this taxi journey because we didn't have any idea where to get the bus to Ramshap. We asked 3 different people and they all told us different things. So we would have just been walking around aimlessly.
The taxi driver's just got out, he's asking the bus drivers where the bus to Ramshap is, and they're speaking lots of Nepalese to each other.
Manthali? Manthali!
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love how getting a bus works here. So we got to this bus area and then our taxi driver just got out, was asking all the bus drivers, Manthali, Manthali. And then in the end, some guy runs up to us and says, Manthali, and grabs our bags. We're like, okay, we're off to Manthali then. And we're in a bus now. We don't know how much it is.
We're the only people on the
We're the only
bus.
people on it.
We had lots of comments last time we got a bus saying don't sit over the back, sit in the middle. So I'm quite pleased we're over the wheels this time.
It's been an hour and 10 minutes on this bus, but we're not sure what's happening and when we're leaving. Gonna sit tight, watch some TV on my phone. Woo! Bus has started, the music going, love the tunes on these buses. And we're off, baby! So there's 2 guys working on this bus, one driving it, and then the other guy is like, keeps jumping out, shouting Manthali, Manthali, trying to get people on. And he kind of like puts his hand out the window and signals all the other buses to stop when we want to pull over. I quite like how they're working together.
Coffee, stay down.
Yeah. That is sugary. What do you think of the coffee, Tom?
The coffee is instant coffee, but it's like super strong and super sweet. It's like more like a coffee syrup.
It looks like a good place to get dal bhat. Everyone's getting it and they're getting like big servings, but I think it's probably about 10 a.m. A bit early for dal bhat for me yet. Wow, that is so sweet. Whew. Too sweet for me. We have arrived at Manthali bus park. What time is it?
1:30.
1:30. So we've been sat on the bus for 7 hours, but we've only been driving for 5 hours. Made it to Manthali! Woo! Well, we're gonna sleep tonight, baby. I feel a bit like I'm sleepwalking. I feel like I'm not really alive. I'm a zombie. Running on empty, and can't quite believe we're here. But we just need to figure out where the guest houses and hostels are. We're definitely not in the right area. I think it must be about 35 degrees. It's so hot, so humid. Just spotted the plane that we'll be catching. Fingers crossed. Such a funny little airport. It's so small. We've just been speaking to a couple of people who have said they've been waiting since yesterday for their flight. So all the flights yesterday were cancelled, and today. So far, these guys have been waiting since 7 a.m. We've just asked to have a room here at this tea house just right next to the airport.
Yeah. You want office? You want to see office also?
Is this the same?
It's the same, everything's okay?
We found a room. It's 1,500. It's more than we have paid for a room in a long time, but he said it's the last room here, and it's really busy here. It's full of people waiting for a flight, and I think there's a chance that there's not going to be any flights today, and then all the rooms are going to be full again tonight. We've got quite a pretty good view of the runway from here, so we can keep an eye on the flights. Sumit and Asmida are showing us some some Nepalese music. We're listening to some tunes, and we've just got a chow mein. It's really nice, really spicy. Your mum is a good cook.
Thank you.
It is around 6:30 in the morning. It has already been quite a journey to get even to this point.
We arrived yesterday and it was just full of people waiting for the plane. It's quite funny. It's the smallest airport I've ever been to. There's not really like a terminal or anything. I don't really understand how you check in or like whether your bag actually gets weighed or what. We'll maybe just go and ask some people, find out. Really hope we get this flight. My hopes aren't too high because we've met people that have been waiting 2 days for flights because they've just been cancelled. Come on, let's get a look. Yeah, really busy here. I think the first flights were about 7 AM here. We're not booked until 8, so we're not going for a while. It says all flights are delayed due to local weather. So yeah, we don't really know what the deal is because we have our flights booked at 8 o'clock. We're here on time, but obviously there's been people waiting for days for flights. They've been cancelled in the last few days. Where are you thinking of sitting? Boarding pass? Boarding pass, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're absolute plonkers. We've just been walking around the airport, like no idea what's going on, but we went and actually accidentally walked through the security bit and they said, oh, you need to check in, you need your bag tags. That's what we're doing now. Hi. We're really unlikely to get to Lucca today. There's people been waiting days and days and days. It's worse than we thought. He said that there might be an option that we can fly to Phaphlu with our fare ticket and then we can get a jeep to somewhere nearby, and we're going to avoid Lukla, and then we can just start walking. To be honest, I'm very keen to see that option. I would do that because looking at the weather in Lukla, it's not good for the next few days. I don't want to just be stuck here waiting. Just want to get on, move on, and start walking. Okay, guys, things are looking up. It's exciting. So we've just found four people
So
that want to come to Phaphlu, and we need 15 people from Tara Airlines who want to go to Phaphlu. So time to round up the troops. Let's get to Phaphlu. We've just slipped into the nearest cafe to get a coffee, and we've told our mates to let us know if anything else happens.
We were just eating breakfast and we've been told that our flight to Phaphlu has been failed. So we're off to Phaphlu.
Yeah, thanks to Probin. You sorted us out. When we were having our coffee, I had to cancel our breakfast because one of the guys kindly come in and said, oh, you know, the plane's full, we're leaving. They managed to get together 15 people just like that. Honestly, the guy behind the desk, Probin, he's a legend. He's sorted us straight out and he's been really helpful and given us all the information we need. So yeah, thanks Probin.
The man in the restaurant came out and delivered us some toast. We actually didn't pay for it, but he said not to worry.
9.18 kilos, just under 10. It's 6.6, but without the camera stuff. Okay, got it. Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you. This is like the funniest airport I've ever been to. It's so funny. Like everything's just so chilled. Like this is the bag drop desk. Woohoo! The security lady was great fun. You don't get that in the UK. She said I was so beautiful, and she said my boyfriend was so handsome. She's checking you out, Tom.
After 15 minutes. We're going to Phaphlu.
Phaphlu?
Yeah.
Phaphlu. We're going to Phaphlu.
We are off. We're going to Phaphlu. Look at this plane.
It's so cool. It's the smallest plane I've ever been on. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Namaste.
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 Mind your head.
Wow. We're on the plane. It doesn't feel real. It's so small. It's so cool.
Excuse me, attention please. For your information, this is safety instruction card kept in front of your seat pocket. For your information, please both are emergency exit. Except emergency, do not use it. For more information, go through the safety instruction.
There's no like sound insulation in this plane, so it's very loud. And it's so cool. You can literally, the pilot is just seats away from us.
The really tall mountains, it creates air currents and we get quite a bit of turbulence.
It's a bit bumpy, but not too bad.
It's going to be quite a journey. I think it's like a 6-hour jeep ride and then we got like a day or two of hiking as well.
We've agreed on 4,000 each, and it's 10 people in this Jeep, so I think that's a good price for the Jeep driver. It's quite expensive.
We're just loading it up. Half of us are going to have to sit in the back, just like on the flatbed truck floor. This is the back of the Jeep, and it's pretty basic, but we're all actually fighting to get in the back now. This is the best seats. It's more of an adventure, although after 6 hours we might feel a bit different. Guys, how do you feel? Ready for the journey?
We'll see in 6 hours. Feel excited to the 6-hour trip. I'm thinking it's going to be the best seats in the whole cabin.
We just want to go, man.
The Jeep is just taking so long. It's taking ages to arrive, and now we're like trying to squeeze in extra people, trying to make dodgy deals, and we just want to get going. It's going to add like a couple of days to our hike. We're trying to go with the flow. 6 hours of bumpy roads, and we'll see how we're doing in a bit. But let's get going. Bye! We had a very short period of nice tarmac roads, and I think we've just seen the last of them.
So these guys are kindly swapping out for a bit. We're taking it in turns in the back.
We're up front. This is like, look, we got our own little lawn.
We just went through a complete river. This hairpin bend we're coming up to is so tight that you have to do a 3-point turn in like the tiniest little space. I'm scared. Just like that, we made it. I was holding my breath, saying a little prayer. Oh, there's more coming up. Okay, I am actually scared at this point. This is like a maneuver, man. Can't believe it.
The scariest trek we've ever done.
Feeling pretty grateful that we survived that. We have asked the driver to have a little lunch break here, so we get a little bit of food.
This little place we've stopped at has pretty limited options for veggies, so we have some chapatis, 2 chapatis with some tomato ketchup. We are not going to be running on the best fuel. Still feeling pretty hungry after just a chapati, and it's our turn in the back again.
It's rush hour on the mountain.
Namaste! We've just been stopped by the police, waved down. We're not really sure why.
We've been travelling for 6.5 hours now. Long day. I think we've arrived.
One adventure stop, one begin.
We think we're in Kharikhola, or we're 500 meters from Kharikhola. The driver is refusing to go on because of the state of the road. Some of the guys in our Jeep want him to continue, so there's a bit of just debate going on about that. I'm kind of happy to just get out and walk at this point. Like, we've been traveling for 6.5 hours now. The guys in our taxi are like discussing it behind us. It's a bit awkward.
10,000, you give 10,000. That is not. Maybe you have too much money. I listen, but you have too much money. That's why you give more money. Why you give?
Namaste.
What's your favorite?
Is there a room for 2 people? Oh, full. Okay, no worries. Oh wow, I hope we get somewhere to sleep tonight. What we're doing right now is what you would do if you don't get the flight to Lukla. And Lukla is the start of the Everest Base Camp trek, the 3 Passes trek, and the Gokyo Lakes trek. So it's very busy. But right now, me and Tom are flagging. We really need some water, some food, and a place to sleep. It's been quite the adventure today. Just that whole journey was quite hair-raising in times. Is there rooms or available?
Yes,
We've actually ended up with everyone on the Jeep apart from one couple, and we've all managed to land a room here for 300 rupees, so super buzzing to be here. Home for the night, woohoo! Got a beautiful artwork in our room. Not a bad view from our balcony, and it's getting late, it's about to get dark in like 10 minutes, so I'm really glad to find somewhere to sleep. We've got to get some dal bhat in us now. I've been really looking forward to this dal bhat today, and it's arrived. We're having dinner for the Jeep crew. It's really nice to chat to everyone, and we're super hungry.
What a day that's been. It's not what we're planning, not what we expected. We are 2 days trek from where we are supposed to be today at this time. We're gonna try and walk as much as we can tomorrow, try and make up a bit of time. So maybe it was a mistake flying to this other airport. We didn't realise quite how much of a detour it would be. Lukla could be closed for days. Some of the guys we were speaking to, they've been waiting in that town for like 5 days already, and the weather forecast looks like it'll be closed for the next 3 at least. We might not be saving much time, but at least we're trekking and not just waiting in the airport. In hindsight, maybe we wouldn't have got the flights and we would have just got the bus to this town and hiked from here. It's all part of the adventure.
We're sleeping under a waterfall tonight. Guess it's that way. See you later.
See ya. We are setting off. It is a very grey day. If we're Scottish, we call it dreek. In Cornwall, we call it mizzle. Either way, it's pretty horrible. You can only see a few metres in front of you, and it's rainy. This weather is why we couldn't fly into Lukla. No flights have gone for about a week, and this weather doesn't seem to be shifted anytime soon. As you go higher up into the mountains, the weather improves as you get above the cloud. So we're hoping that after today, we'll get some nice weather. We didn't have the best night's sleep at that place. Israel was sleep talking first of all, and then at 3 in the morning, a group of 27 people turned up trying to find a room, and they were quite noisy. And then
at 2 in the morning, I had diarrhea.
At 2 in the morning as well, diarrhea.
Time of setting off, 3 minutes to 7. We're on the road. It feels great to be trekking again. Not feeling my tip-top self this morning. Yeah, I had a bit of an upset stomach in the night, but and not very much sleep.
You're always talking about your poo.
I'm just being real. It's like a video diary.
Yes, but being real and talking about your poo is not the same thing.
Upset stomach's not graphic. You can just take it or leave it.
I cut out so much poo chat in this. She's already said diarrhea about 3 times today.
I'm just saying, it was a pretty bad night. But anyway, we are on the road. Feels good to be moving our legs after long journeys on the buses and the jeeps and the plane. If I could give you advice, if you're doing the same as us, I would just get transport from Kathmandu to Kharikhola and start your trek here if you want to do an Everest trek, because that flight, man, is so unpredictable. Morning!
This time of year, we should be past the monsoon season and the sky should be pretty clear. This year apparently the monsoon has just been pushed later and later, and this weather is pretty untypical of this time of year. I'm hoping that we can still get the Lukla flight on the way back, because they were pretty expensive flights, so a little bit gutting that we haven't been able to make the most of them.
And I also really want to experience the world's most dangerous airport.
You might only experience it once. It's gonna be like an extra 2 days of travel, but I would rather spend 2 days travelling than 2 days sat at that airport waiting for a flight to go. So I'd much rather be doing this than sat in a waiting room hoping that a flight would go.
Me too, but it does mean that we are going to have to walk quite far the next couple of days to kind of catch up with our schedule. Because we do have 9 weeks in Nepal, but we want to make the most of every week, and we've kind of got an itinerary we want to stick to, so hopefully we can get our flight on the way back. We don't have to change it.
Yeah, so we're hoping that we can make up some time because we've timetabled in some acclimation days, and we are hoping that after doing Langtang last week, we will already be acclimatized. We're obviously going to listen to our bodies, and if we need those days, we'll have to take them and try and rearrange our flight. But hopefully we won't need them, and we can just keep pushing. So in the UK, we have a few different distinct native ethnic groups, such as English, Scottish, Welsh, Cornish, of course. Here in Nepal, they have something like 250 different ethnic groups and castes. The last hike we went to on the Langtang trek, we were in the region of the Tamang people, and now we are hiking through the region of the Sherpas. We asked to learn a bit of a language from our host last night, and it's very similar to the Tamang, both of which have influences from the Tibetan border, just very close. Hello is Tachile, and thank you is Tuche. This is an absolute killer of a first day. The weather is grim. It's really horrible. And we're just grinding out this massive hill. I think it's like we start with a kilometre uphill. We just want to try and do as much as we can today. But Israel's not feeling too well, so we'll see how we go. Just keep plodding. But we're going to be absolutely soaking wet. We've sort of given up trying to keep dry and just letting ourselves get wet. Luckily it's not too cold. Please swim plod over here.
Pretty miserable. It's like, I feel a bit gross because I'm so sweaty, but I'm also just so wet.
People are just getting up and putting on their hiking boots and stuff, and it all feels very hushed. The weather has made everything so quiet. But we're still going up. We've got a little bit more up to go, and then we just start to descend all of the elevation we've made.
And then we have to do it all over again.
Then we do it all over again. But I'd still rather be doing this than waiting at the airport. It feels good to be back on the mountain. Even though we can't see them, it's good to be here. I just realised we haven't really told you about what trek we're actually doing. We are hiking now, making our way towards the Everest region, but we're a bit too cool and hipster. We don't do the things that everyone does. We've decided we're not going to go to Everest Base Camp. Instead, we found a walk which is meant to actually have better views, be better for altitude, a little bit less popular.
Sounds amazing.
It sounds really amazing. We're doing the Gokyo Lakes, which is the highest lake system in the world, followed by the Renyo La Pass, which is one of the 3 passes in the 3 passes walk. I need to keep remembering that that's what we're doing. So over the last couple of days it's felt like we've spent a lot more money than we wanted to. When you remember what we're walking towards, it's worth it. We just stopped in a little tea house to have a black coffee, but really we stopped to wrap our laptop in a plastic bag and put the rain cover on the backpack inside this backpack, just trying to keep things dry. But as soon as we stopped, because we were so wet, it got so cold, so we want to get going again pretty quick.
Wow guys, this is really heavy. This is so wet. I'm glad that we wrapped up our laptop and the camera, and I'm very glad we didn't even bother bringing the camera out today. It's so soaking wet today, like ridiculous. And this is our beautiful cloudy weather. Trying to keep the spirits high because we've heard in a couple of days the rain is going to stop, the sun is going to come out, and we're going to be on top of the world seeing crazy peaks. In the meantime, could be anywhere. Can't see a thing.
I think the hardest thing about hiking is mindset, and we're having a good time, so we can keep trucking. We're going over a landslide, so I don't want to take too long here. I need to watch my footing. Oh. But check this out, it's proper sketchy.
Do not want to hang around on those landslides. Whew. Dizzy.
I think I'm realising something on this trip. I think I'm made to be walking in the mountains. I just love it so much. Even on a day like this, it's grey, it's misty and wet and horrible, and I'm just so happy. We've done a lot of mountains this year. We've climbed mountains in Ireland, in Norway, in Poland, in Romania, and now here in Nepal. Wow, it's been really epic. I've loved it. We're off again, and I am feeling very cold after us stopping in that place, so I can't wait to warm up a bit.
Wow, you're a beast.
It's coming up to about 2 o'clock, and we're just coming into the town of Suke, which is where they suggest you stop for the day. This last section has been a bit slower going. It's actually been very steep downhill, and because of the rain and stuff, we've been going quite slow down. And then I look in front of me, and one of the porters has got a bag maybe 3 times the size of mine, maybe even bigger, and he's wearing flip-flops and skidding around all the way down the mountain. If you are going to get a porter, make sure you've got a decent pair of shoes. You can get them real cheap in Kathmandu, and it's only fair, really. Behind me, you can see our first view of today.
We decided to do a big push, final push today, and go all the way to Phaphlu, which is where we would be if we were getting the flight from Leclerc to yesterday. So we kind of want to catch up with our schedule so we don't have to worry about playing catch up every day. Oh god, nothing left. I'm really struggling. Tom's like the most energetic I've ever seen him in my life. He's so happy and like just absolutely not even feeling it at all. He's like action man. I just want to cry. I'm so tired.
Isabel's struggling a bit. She hasn't really been enjoying the hike today. There's no views, it's a bit wet and miserable, but she's doing very well and I'm very proud of her.
And then my stay lodge, that we used the toilet. It's nice. It was Western one, so I sat down.
Oh, what a treat.
The need to keep me going. Tom's positivity's keeping me going. I don't know what's wrong, but
I'm ready to go again.
Let's go.
Pop back down there. Quick top tip for Nepal: Google Maps, don't even bother. There's another one, it's called maps.me, and you can download the maps offline, and it's so good. It's got all the footpaths and it's really accurate.
Look down.
It's starting to get a bit dark. We've done an absolutely mammoth achievement today. I hope we haven't pushed ourselves too hard. I'm a bit worried about it's only day one, but we've been walking for almost 12 hours. We're closing in on it now. I think we've got about half an hour left. I'm really proud of Izzy. She was finding it really tough and she wanted to give up, and she had a little pep talk and she's back on it.
I cried. I had a bit of a where I couldn't really breathe. I couldn't get my breath. I was a bit panicky. Tom told me to just do one step at a time. He bought me some Oreos and I feel absolutely done, but I'm so glad we've made it.
And as we get closer, the mist is lifting a bit and we're getting a few little views. I'm really hoping the weather starts to improve now. It's definitely a gruelling walk. Yeah, we've walked for about 12 hours. This walk is recommended to do over 2 days.
The competitive in me is quite pleased because we've met lots of people on the way today. When we told them we're going to Phaphlu, they're like, no, it's too far, it's impossible. So yeah, secretly pretty pleased with ourselves that we could do it. like the middle one. We've made it in the light just. Just two.
Oh, amazing, thank you.
Yay.
We come a long way today. We come from Kharikhola.
Kharikhola.
Today, yeah. To walk, yeah.
We're tired.
Oh, long way.
One of my favourite spelling mistakes so far. Tom, do you want to cook?